Hey YouTubers, Melanie Raye here. It's about 11 o'clock at night and I've just gotten home from seeing Wicked the Movie, Part 1, with my husband Blair at the Hoyts Lux. So I wanted to make a video about my thoughts on the film so that I don't end up typing out my answers multiple times to my thoughts on the film, because I'm a super slow texter. And I knew that people would want to hear what I thought because anyone who's known me more than 5 minutes knows that Wicked is my absolute favourite musical. I've seen it live 6 times and I have Defying Gravity literally tattooed on my back. So I thought, make a video, say all the things, publish that, copy-paste link as needed, job done. So if you haven't seen the film yet, I recommend backing right out of this video right now because there will be spoilers. Okay? Cool. So we get to the movie. I'm wearing my new Eat, Sleep, Theatre, Repeat t-shirt, which I think is super appropriate for the situation at hand. And the movie starts, and I immediately love the wide establishing shots of the waterfalls and the flying monkeys and the palaces, immediately immersing us in the world of Oz. The opening notes of No One Mourns the Wicked had me literally squeezing my husband Blair's hand. I was so excited. And it did not disappoint, especially the fact that they used the medium of film to really convey on Glinda's face how conflicted she felt about having to be like, good news, she's dead, while inwardly grieving what she believes is the loss of her best friend. It's a great use of the medium there. Then we had the lettering of the word Wicked, which is the original lettering that was used in the Wizard of Oz film back in the day. I thought that was a really cool reference to the original. Then we had the introduction to Shiz University, and I loved that it was set on water. I thought that was a really cool touch. And the architecture, the designs on the buildings, the Oz technology, they really had attention to detail. I loved it. I loved our introduction to Alphabet as a little girl before getting to meet her at university age, and then revisiting that little girl character towards the end of the film I thought was really well done too. The Wizard and I. Cynthia singing this song sounded so effortless. She had so much power and vocal control, and I loved it. I had tears running down my face. It was stunning. After that, we had Loathing, which fun choreography. It kept it really light and humorous while still developing the relationship between Glinda and Elphaba. I loved the all the props and set that they had to work with. It was really cool. Then we had Dr. Dillerman's scene of animals should be seen and not heard, which is one of the key kind of themes in the movie, musical, and book is, who should be seen and not heard, who has the power and gets to be seen and heard, and who's using their power and finding their voice, which Elphaba obviously does, and she tries to be a voice for those who aren't getting to be heard, and that's where she finds her power. So I thought it was beautifully done throughout. My cat Ember has just come and sat down next to me. Eponine's around somewhere too, my other cat. But I thought that this whole theme was presented really beautifully throughout the film. You want to say hi, Ember? Say hi. There you go. So that's Ember. Then we had Dancing Through Life, which I loved the library design with the spinning book stand things and the ladders. I thought that was so cool. It was such a fun number. And then one of my favourite scenes in the musical, and now in the movie too, is the dance between Glinda and Elphaba in the Ozdust Ballroom where they really become friends. I loved the pacing of that. I thought it was really beautiful. The close-up shots of their faces, especially the one of Elphaba crying on Glinda's shoulder at the end of the song, when you can see that she finally feels accepted. Again, tears, again. So stunning. And after that, Popular, which such a fun number. Ariana had the character of Glinda down pat with just the humour, the gestures, and they got her to end the song with the mirror above the head, which is one of the classic poses in all of the stage productions that I've seen, so I'm guessing it's probably quite a popular one. And then we had the scene where Elphaba and Fiero are rescuing the lion cub, and they had the use of the sleeping poppies. Now, this was not included in the musical or book. This is actually another wink to the original Wizard of Oz film with the sleeping poppies. So I thought that was really cool. Then as we lean into the song I'm Not That Girl, I noticed that the colour tones they used for the outdoors were really similar to the colour tones used in Munchkin Land and Emerald City in the original Wizard of Oz film. So again, like all these little references they're making, I love them. One Short Day in the Emerald City was a really fun number. Again, great world building and choreography, and then the cameos, you guys. The cameos. My absolute queen, Idina Menzel, the original Elphaba, and Kristen Chenoweth, who was the original Glinda, singing an entirely new song written just for them, and having this blink and you'll miss it moment of the old and new Glindas standing next to each other and the old and new Elphabas standing next to each other, almost, passing the torch and the mantle. I loved it, you guys. I just about fell off my seat. Then we go into the wizard's palace, if you can call it that, and they have the big freaky head, and they used one which was really similar to what's been used in stage productions, so that was kind of a link to the stage version there. We go into the song The Sentimental Man, which is usually the one song I skip in the original soundtrack, but they did it great in this, so kapai. And the way that they've presented the characters of Madame Marble and the wizard up until this point is they're so charming and disarming that if you hadn't seen the musical, you might be genuinely surprised to find out that they're behind all the nefarious schemes to shut down the animals and harm them. So I thought that was really amazingly well acted by Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh throughout, so good job, guys. The one scene that I could do without in the film was the monkeys chasing Elphaba and Glinda. It kind of sent my anxiety through the roof, to be honest. I don't do jump scares. I don't do shattered glass or anything like that. So, I didn't like that. Didn't like it at all. But it doesn't change my overall 10 out of 10 rating. I'll just close my eyes next time and maybe cover my ears when we get to that part. Finally, Defying Gravity, which I knew would be my favourite song in the film, and it was, but it still blew my expectations out of the water. Again, Cynthia's voice, stunning, and casting a woman of colour in this role, like I cannot tell you, it just added a whole nother layer of meaning to the whole character of Elphaba and her story. So she sings, Defying Gravity, and they're doing the hot air balloon and animating the broom, which were both amazing pieces to bring in. And then the cutting back of Elphaba flying and singing, and then coming back to Glinda and Madame Marble and showing through visuals only how their relationship has started to shift and change in preparation for the second half of the story in the second film. I thought was so well done. And then they have Cynthia just like staring bang, straight down the camera to end the film, cut into To Be Continued. Loved it. I was literally like applauding. I was crying. It was a great time. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is looking ahead to the second film, I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Nessa Rose's character, because for those of you who are familiar with the musical version, Nessa Rose is supposed to walk at one point in Act 2, but they've amazingly casted Marissa Baudet, who is genuinely disabled, as Nessa Rose, so it'll be interesting to see how they play that out in the second film. Again, I love the visibility, the representation in this film, and I applaud the director, the filmmakers, just everyone for an incredible job well done. Now, this video is getting very long, so I'm going to leave it there. But if you've gotten this far, thank you for listening. And mwah, 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 I love you all. Bye!